you have to think about what is the natural transition from your low ticket product to your next level product. They say it takes an average of 8 touch points for people to actually make a decision to invest with you. So if you're just providing them with information, it's not going to go far. What you want to be talking about is, welcome to the Fuel Your Flow podcast. I am your host, Valerie Feghali, physical therapist turned software CEO and business coach for health and wellness coaches. We are going to be talking about all things health and business. They might be more closely related than you think. So let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Fuel the Flow. Today, I'm going to give you an inside look at a system that I have been using from almost the very beginning when I first started with online coaching. Now, yes, I did a while where I did just plain one-on-one coaching and I used kind of traditional strategies more in my local market. But once I started to get into a wider market online, this is really the strategy that took off for me. So we are going to be talking about low ticket offers. Now, a lot of the gurus out there you'll see will be recommending freebie offers to start growing your email list. And I believe so strongly in growing your email list. However, I think that when you're offering freebies, you're getting a lot of cheap leads. So one of the reasons why I usually tell people, it's okay to give a free resource, but I wouldn't push a ton of your marketing efforts or a ton of your money on paid advertisements to free leads to get onto your email list is number one, because you're getting people who are freeloaders. The algorithm is smart. So it's going to be pushing leads to people. So when you have that conversion metric set for your paid advertisements and you tell Meta or Facebook to push this out to people who are going to sign up, the algorithm knows to push that out to the most amount of people who are going to actually get onto your list. And a lot of these people are going to be people who are putting their email address in all over the place. So they're freeloaders. They're people that are looking for free content kind of all over the internet. So we're getting leads that are not necessarily qualified to then buy our products and then purchase with us further down the line. And so that's one of the reasons why I recommend a low ticket offer. Now, another reason why I recommend it is because when people are investing in something, even if it's $1, which we'll talk about what a low ticket offer is in a moment, it's not $1. But even if they were to invest $1 into your offer, they're way more likely to open up that email and actually start using that product or that PDF or that guide or that resource that you are providing for them versus when they're signing up for something free. Just think about it. How many times have you put your email address in to get something free that looked interesting and then you never went back to it? So if they're paying some money to get in, they're not only more qualified leads, but they are also someone who's actually going to take a look at and take action on the resource that you are sending them. Another issue with free content is that there's so much saturation in the market. So everybody's doing it. Everybody's putting out some sort of freebie out there. And a lot of times these free offers are things that you can find on ChatGPT, things that you can find on a blog post and free all over the internet. So for somebody to actually put their email address in to get it is less likely. And so you want to have something that's much higher value. Now, when people are spending money on the product that you're giving them, even if it is $27, $37, or you can actually put a lot of work behind that because you are ideally making a profit from that as well from your back end. So it's not just something that you can find on a blog post. It's not just something that you can look up on ChatGPT. It's more of a system, a framework, something that you can put a little bit more work into because you are actually charging for that product. Also, with that offer, you are closing the engagement gap. So when people are interacting with you on either social media, through an advertisement, through your email list, you are closing that engagement gap by providing them with something that they're actually utilizing either quickly in their business or maybe even as a system for their business. So they are keeping you in mind every single time that they are using that product that they purchased from you or that system that they purchased from you. So next time they see you, you've already built up a little bit of that trust factor, and they're much more likely to invest with you again in the future. Now, let's talk a little bit about what is a low ticket offer. So when I'm talking about a low ticket offer, I'm talking about something that costs anywhere from $27 to about $47. So it's something that's more of an impulse buy, something that almost anybody can purchase and get into your world and get on your email list by purchasing. Now, there are some things that a low ticket offer needs to have in it in order to be successful. Number one, a low ticket offer needs to be actionable. So if you're just providing them with information, it's not going to go far. Information is so accessible at this point online. We have AI, we have things like Google even, where people can just get information so rapidly that fits in with exactly what they're looking for. What you need to provide them with is something that they can take action on, and it needs to be quick action. So something that they can implement in either their business or their wellness or their health, fitness routine, something that they can implement almost immediately. So this could be something like 5-10 minute workouts to start off your, couch to 5K transition, something like that, where they are getting a result and they're able to take quick action. It also needs to solve a real problem. So people need to be actively searching for something to solve that specific problem. Now, it doesn't need to be the problem that you're trying to solve as a whole with your higher ticket products or with your one-on-one coaching. Pick a section of that. So an example of this is if you are a hormone health coach and you're helping women balance their hormones, they are going to have multiple different problems. They might have problems with their skin. They're likely to have problems with their sleep or their cycle. And so you want to be able to pick one of those issues and hone down on that and get deep in that specific problem. So they're taking action and doing something meaningful in order to take one step closer towards their goals. Then you transition them into your higher ticket product or your one-on-one coaching. And it should be a natural transition from your low ticket offer to your next level program. Lastly, there needs to be minimal friction in actually using that low ticket offer. So if you're sending them onto any sort of complicated software or something that they need to learn how to utilize in order to take action on your low ticket offer, you're going to lose them in the process. It needs to be simple and straightforward. Now, yes, I do normally advise that you have them log onto your portal in order to use that. And the reason is because they're going to see your other products there as well, and they're going to actually open your email and take action on the email rather than just sending a PDF. A lot of times we'll get sent to the spam folders if we're sending a lot of links or PDFs through our emails. So if we send them right to a portal, it is still an email. You still want them to open the email, but then you send them a link to your portal. But it needs to be very simple from there. Not a lot of modules, not a lot of videos to watch, simple action steps in order to take action on the low ticket offer that they purchased. Let's talk about some examples of low ticket offers. So examples could be step-by-step video guides where you're actually guiding them through a certain process or system through video format, something that's very easy for them to implement, step 1, step 2, step 3. Another example could be a swipe file or some sort of template. So something that they can use again and again inside of their system. So maybe you're providing them with some sort of meal plan template where you're actually giving them some sort of calendar to follow that they can then utilize week after week and just input some of their own data or some of their own information or likes and dislikes into that. But it's more of a system that you're guiding them through. So some sort of template, some sort of swipe file, a video step-by-step walkthrough guide, or even just simple steps to get started with whatever goal that they are going to reach. But again, something that's easy. If you are suggesting products, you want to have the links to all of those products. If they need to learn something specific, you need to have the link directly to that. So they are not having to search the web. They are not having to put anything together themselves, that it's very easy for them to actually, again, take action on. Let's talk about how to actually get the right traffic to your low ticket offer. So there's many ways of doing this, but if you don't have a large audience, you may have to pay for that audience in the beginning. It's very normal for newer coaches to start using paid advertisements. And you'll hear a lot of people saying, no, start to grow your social following first. It's very hard to grow a social following without paid traffic initially. And there's nothing wrong with running paid traffic in order to start to grow your email list. You're still going to get the people who are only interested in your product on your email list, but you'll be presented to a much, much wider audience. So things like Google ads or Meta ads can be a great way to get in front of people when you don't already have a large audience to begin with. So running paid advertisements directly to your low ticket offer is a great way to grow your list. Another way that you can do it is to get in front of other people's audiences. So you can do podcasts, be a podcast guest for somebody. You can also do a free workshop for a local gym or somebody online who does something similar to you, but not the exact same thing. So somebody who could promote your products without it overlapping on their products as well. So find those people in your marketplace where you could collaborate with and do joint workshops together in order to get in front of other people's audiences. That is a great way to build trust and again, get people to sign up for your low ticket offer and start to grow your email list. And then lastly, of course, there is organic reach. So a lot of people will start posting on their social media or send out to their email list 1 or 2 emails or a few different posts on their social media pages. You need to talk about it a lot. The reality is most of what you put out there, people won't see. And so they're not going to open every single email that you send. They're not going to see every single story or social media post that you post. So you need to post multiple different times. I know someone who, when she runs open cart for her product, she sends out 44 emails during that 1 week period.
When we launch, we send 22 emails in 4 days.
Wow. What?
Yes.
Yeah. I know that seems like a lot, but it's because people don't open every single one and you need to help them get over some of their objections. Now, with a low ticket offer, I might not post that many times or send that many emails, but the point is that you need to put yourself out there and you need to get in front of them in order for them to really understand what it is that you are offering. They say it takes an average of 8 touch points for people to actually make a decision to invest with you. So they need to see your product and see what you're offering at least 8 times before they decide to buy. What happens next after they get into your low ticket offer? So once they've consumed that content and started utilizing your product, the next step is bringing them into your next level product. So that could be your membership, your high ticket product. That could be some sort of course that you run or your one-on-one coaching. But you have to think about what is the natural transition from your low ticket product to your next level product. How does that seamlessly flow? You want people at the end of utilizing your low ticket product to say, hey, I need more than this. I need to go to the next level. And so that next level will be your next level product and it should flow naturally. Now, we can do things such as send a video sales letter. So this would be something that you send out to that within that email campaign. So they buy your low ticket offer, they get their first initial welcome email. Then you send a couple warm-up emails. So these are just information only, maybe introducing yourself, telling them a little bit about your story, building up some trust, building up some inspiration inside of those emails. And then you bring them into a video. And that video will be describing your next level product. And it's essentially a sales pitch with a little bit of step-by-step information in there as well, but not the whole kit and caboodle. You really just want to introduce them to the product and start to build some interest and let them know what it is that you have. So that video sales letter is really a really good way of introducing people to your product. You can offer a discount with it because they've already purchased something with you, and so that they feel like they are getting in on the ground level and making sure that they are getting to their next level goals. So you really want to be talking about the impact that your product has for them and not so much the features. If we're drilling them on the features, they're going to get bored, they're going to lose interest, and it's going to suck their energy. What you want to be talking about is what their pain points are, and then what their desires are, and how your product bridges the gap between the two. The next thing that you could offer, if you don't want to do the video sales letter, is a strategy call. So this would be a 20 to 30 minute session with you where, again, you are really focusing on what it is that they want. So where are they getting stuck? Where are their pain points right now? Really hone in on that. And then you talk about just a few of the features that your product entails and not the whole thing. Again, if you're talking about your entire product, everything that it offers, going through each and every module, they are not going to be interested in that. They're only interested in the ones that really tie into the pain points that they're currently experiencing. You might know from a professional level that they need everything else that your product has as well, but they don't know that. And if they don't know that, you're selling them on something that they're uninterested in. So what you want to do is you want to talk about what exactly it is that they're interested in, make sure that your product matches up with that, explaining how it matches up with that. And then once they get inside of the program, you can explain a little bit more how, yes, we are going to focus on these few things, but then we're going to take it even a step further, and I have more for you inside of the program. And lastly is either a workshop or a challenge. So you might be bringing them into some sort of workshop. It could be a boot camp, like a 3-day boot camp. It could be a challenge, say a 5 to 7 7-day challenge. You don't want to make it too long, or it could just be a single day free workshop. And during that workshop, again, you're focusing in on the impact that your product will have on their lives. So what is the transformation that your product is going to solve for them, and how are you going to get them there using your framework? Now, you should have some sort of designated framework, such as like a 5-step process, something that people can easily understand and connect with and see how this is going to help them specifically. You want to make sure that you are speaking their words during this workshop. So it should almost be as if you are talking to a friend, that you truly understand them. You truly understand what they are going through. Now, you can pull some of this language from comments and threads, from email replies that people have sent to you, from questions that people have asked you on your social media pages. But you really want to make sure that you are speaking in their words and touching on the points that they are bringing up without you prompting them to bring up those concerns. If you're reaching them on at their level, they're much more likely to invest with you in the future. So that is the system that I use for low ticket offers. It has worked incredibly well for me, both to get people into my membership and then also into higher level coaching programs, so higher ticket coaching programs. This is something that I would recommend all coaches at least give a try, rather than always offering free content. Make your content paid for, just even if it's a small amount. That small investment can go a long way in building trust and getting people to invest with you. I hope you enjoyed our conversation from today. Any links we discussed will be in the show notes below. Also, we would be incredibly grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review. This helps us keep the podcast going so that we can continue to provide value for all of you. I hope we see you on the next one.